September the 4th.
How are you?
September the 9th, my watch is missing some elements. Greetings, salutations. Real quick here till we get rocking. Miss D, I only see one mistake on our minutes. We did have a board meeting in August, didn't we?
Yes.
If you'd check those, redo the date there before they're submitted. Thank you. I would appreciate that. Thank you. August 12th, thank you. I just saw that. All right. Any additions, subtractions to the minutes? If not, I'll entertain.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll take a second. Is there one second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Greetings, Mr. Burns.
Hello.
Excuse me for my attire. I just came from cross-country practice, and it's a little passionate out there today.
You got you in a head spot tonight.
Eric, couple things here, and I just want to touch on what we're doing. Didn't know if Joe was going to be here. Just a few notes here. Where are we at on the trail out at Fall Creek? And it may open and all that happy stuff.
All the materials on the trail, they just have to press it, and then we'll need to go in and do some herbicide treatments and brush treatments in there to.
And just a couple things. I think Jimmy Hennigan, Street Department guru, and even Joe, and I've had inquiry from people about, they cut back some of that foliage there on the Lee Road side, and just for public consumption, that is a safety issue, so you can see into the trail. So I had people ask why they were doing that. I go, well, it's a safety thing.
And that's something that we did a walkthrough last week, and that we're going
How are you,
to
Tom?
take some lanes so you can see through the trails. It's almost a mile within the 3 loops. So
Got it.
there's some sections we need to open up so people can see.
Harmon Way is open.
It is.
And a couple things on that. I still say we need to have a city fundraiser. We host a Grand Prix, get some go-karts. It only hurts when that abrupt stop. That's the only time it really hurts. Greetings, Ms. Wendy.
Hello.
A couple things. I've slept. Last month, Mr. Burns commented on the parking lot. Where are we looking on that community park parking lot? And I bugged you today also about the sign, just kind of that general appearance as you come in off Franklin Road, but the parking lot in.
It appears that we're going to have to use some of our own funds to do that patchwork in the parking lot
Okay.
in the season.
We definitely have got, and I'll be a constant pain here, but that's okay. We have got to really work on that entrance to the park. That sign, like you and I said, it's as old as Methuselah, and it really, the front of that park, it has, the entrance is just, we got to do some work. It's becoming a bit of an eyesore. A couple other things from last month. Are we pretty good with compliance from our youth leagues, cathedral, renters on the health, Marion County Code, COVID?
Yeah, that's part of our discussion here tonight. Just to let you know, all the leagues are in practice or are in process. I haven't heard any negatives, except poor OIO had a visitor from Marion County Health on the 30th, and they've since then revamped their
I drove out there and they
plan, and they've got it all on
Yep.
file now, so they're in accordance with the Marion County Board of Health. And
What was the problem?
it was just a lack of participation by the visitors, not so much the coaches or the process. They had a great process in place, but they just couldn't get the.
social distancing, mask wearing.
So they've blocked off everything between the behind the plate and around to the dugouts, so the parents and visitors have to sit on third or first base line.
They've even X'd out the outfield where there'll be a fence, there'll be a section of fence that doesn't have caution tape on it. If it has caution tape, you can't stand and watch the game, and they're at least 8 feet apart.
Yeah, so it did help separate the,
Now, have they done that at Lee Road? I mean, I know they said they were supposed to be out in the outfield area, not close to the dugouts. But did they mark off anything?
I haven't seen that at Lee Road, no. They don't have the participation level that OYO has.
Right.
I just want to just need to put a bug in their ear. We don't want them to get a visit.
Yeah, and I don't know the exact numbers at Fall Creek, but looking at their website, they only had about 6 teams, so that's probably not a real big crowd.
I haven't seen too many out there.
Right?
Real quick, just because I asked Eric this, because we've slept since then. Fall Creek Little League does have a sign that's up. It's a permanent fixture sign, and we agreed to it back.
Back before well, you were still meeting in the, I think it was when we had their agreement
Right.
for us. We
So if you go by and see,
but didn't pass the agreement or
right,
pre-COVID.
okay, and we had agreed to it.
Which, I'm confused.
There's a new sign out at the entryway of,
It says home of Fall Creek baseball and softball,
Oh, that sign sitting up on the,
no, they've got a new one that's just put out, and yeah.
right there at the entrance.
okay.
When you go by,
Go
it,
by that entrance very much.
just take a look. We agreed to it, so if you see it, because it is a permanent fixture, I just want everybody to be alert to that. A couple other little things here at the Starrett Center. Can you give us an update on the air conditioning, HVAC, all that stuff? I'll tell you
We
why.
did replace the HVAC system in the foyer area and the old office area, so that was turned on last Friday, so it's operational. We're still having some problem with the kitchen, but since we're not having a lot of activities in there, that's something we'll push off to the end of the year.
The reuse authority, are they going to,
They're going to be moving in sometime next week. Dean and I were actually in there today cleaning out some old files.
okay,
Into,
Into
East End?
the East End for a
really?
period of time. There should be an agreement next month that you're,
That was going to be my question, okay. Real quick, I know you're going to talk about the budget, so I won't bring that up. We are working the Cathedral agreement, soccer agreement, which which expires at the end of the year. I've convened talks with all the interested parties. I chatted with Rick Strife, Cathedral AD yesterday. We're talking with FC Pride tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have something to bring to the board. I'd like maybe have something to bring to the board for October, if not earlier. Once I see where we're headed, I'll share a few things, but we are starting with those conversations.
when would we need to have that approved?
their contract runs through the end of this
Yeah.
season, so before, their Cathedral will be before August of next year, July of next year, and
Okay.
FC Pride would be.
Yeah, I'd like to have a month to
Oh, yeah, that,
get it in there.
well, and I'm going to be blunt, this board will do its responsibility. We'll have an agreement. We'll talk it like we're supposed to. The current agreement they're operating under, well, it went around the process. We didn't have it presented to us. We didn't get the opportunity. We didn't get to do our job.
I
So,
water under the bridge.
yeah. So this time we will definitely, it'll have our stamp of approval on it.
When do we think we're going to make that agreement?
I'd like to have it done within the month. And like Tom, like you said, we'll have there'll be plenty of time to chew on it. There'll be plenty of time to chew on it. Believe me. Real quick, where are we at? You would think I hadn't been to any meeting. Okay, I'll just be honest with you. Real quick, where did we settle on the rental rates and all that from last month? Tom, walk me off the bridge here.
Yeah, we approved 850
For the Starrett Center,
for the
yes.
Starrett Center.
Okay.
And we were going to come back and see if we wanted to do something different.
And if I can just go into some of my report.
Right.
Dina's been doing some research, checking other entities and rates, and we hope to have something for your next meeting with a revised rental agreement or rental structure and program structure. What we're finding is we're giving the recipients a lot of hours of operation.
Right.
Could probably wean that back. And then also, we have a meeting tomorrow with the city attorney about the catering contract.
Right.
Catering RFP. So hopefully we'll have those out end of this week, first next week, and get those back so we can incorporate those into the agreement.
It's a good idea.
Okay. And last, real quick, this is I get a regular update. The pond fountain situation out there at Gin Park. And like I said, we're trying to keep our facilities where they can be money makers. What are the chances of doing something to that pond? That fountain obviously does not work. Help.
Give me the opportunity to see if we've got the money left in the budget.
Okay, because, it's kind of like over at Starrett Center. We invest, it's an investment. It's got HVAC. We've refurbished it. And, Gin Park's also another. And that pond is just, it is an eyesore. And I think we need to, if we can, we need to make a investment in that.
That is nice back there.
Oh, God, yes. It really is.
Right, it's really nice.
Well, it could be kind of dangerous for mosquitoes and everything, too, if the water's not moving at all.
It's not-
It's just, yes, that's one of the things that the calls I've gotten on it is there's buggy and yes, that was one of it. That was a big one. Any other questions? Go ahead, Tom.
I do. Ultimate tournaments, did we get anything back from them?
We haven't. The last one was a no-go. Although I have had an email already from him. It was last week, wanting to get in negotiations for next year. So that's something we can address at a later meeting. But
Yeah, except if you're reading, thank you, Tom. The board asked the documented receipts of the $7,500 that they owe.
I have not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I want to see that.
Yep. Thank you. Yep, you're exactly right.
And it's my understanding that just dragging the field doesn't count towards that, is that? That's our understanding.
Yeah. Anything else for Mr. Eric? All right. Eric, before you got two documents here. It's his favorite time of the year, so wow, what's there, Eric?
So in my report this evening, I'll just let you know that our appropriation reports we're pretty skinny and through just about everything. So with last month, with the acceptance of the skating rink, we've had to transfer some things around. It's on order, so hopefully it'll be here
Okay.
sometime 1st of October. Then we'll have to determine how we're going to store it and all that, but we've already looked at that. Really, the only thing I have to discuss with you this evening is the budget. I made a copy of our non-reverting and our general budget. The general budget shows a reduction of $103,000. Mostly that is in accounts that we looked at. Let's say our fuel account. We had just for instance, in that account, I think we had 30,000 in it. We generally use about 15,000, so we cut that back in anticipation to get our general budget numbers down.
Let me ask you, we see the gasoline, our mowers, are they diesel or?
Diesel.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, the only, I mean, our road vehicles, we have a couple diesel trucks too that we go to we buy everything at Thornton's now, so we don't have our own, except we have a diesel tank for our off-road vehicles, our mowers and backhoe and that sort of thing, so tractors.
So is there enough money in the diesel then?
There should be, yeah, that's,
You look like you're down to the end here.
year to date, we've spent, yeah, I'm fogging up.
If I'm looking in the right spot,
524 left,
that's all you got left.
yeah. But we did a PO for the entire year with Brown's Oil Service, so I'm not sure where we are as far as that expenditure, that PO.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we purchase ahead?
We issue a purchase order, so it removes the money from our account at the end of the
Right.
year if we don't,
Okay.
and generally, we're pretty close to that
I'm
amount.
with, I'm with you.
Eric, real quick, I'm looking under building materials. We still have 90, almost 97% left. 23, 423.
Well, and this is also June 1st, or
Oh,
June the 30th. These
got it.
numbers are in the
Yep,
budget
I get it.
account.
Makes sense.
If I went over to ours, it's a little bit different. We've expended,
And just kind of caveat, because I didn't ask, I should have, like I said, sometimes I wonder if I've even attended a meeting. I'm looking at general consultant 431, 25,000 remains in it. Where are those services
That's
going?
engineering, isn't it?
yeah,
And we X'd that out anyway.
we X'd it all out.
Right. Okay. And with that in mind, I'm just looking at other services, jumping around here, sorry. Our master plan update. We're,
Paid for
okay. Got it,
out of 19's funds.
got it.
Do we have any idea what the overall situation for the city is? I mean, are they
Actually,
anticipating less revenue?
if you go to the website, Tom, they just put it on, the budget on today.
Okay.
It's 187 pages.
Okay, well,
Just some light reading, okay?
It's actually very, very well, it's very well done.
yeah, I want to look at it.
Is this a Fenwick production?
Yeah,
He's a fine, yes, he's, let me,
But they have a compressed guide to the.
Okay.
Through the
Cliff Notes version.
Cliff
Yeah.
notes, exactly. But in general, the non-reverting budget, we're looking at about the same as 2020.
Okay.
It's our revenue that we're really hoping to meet.
to bolster. And I think that's one of those issues I bring up about spending money at Gin Park to fix.
Yeah.
You know,
So we're at 120,000 for revenue, recreational programming.
Right.
And 115 for rentals.
okay.
And then we have some miscellaneous, so 250 for the
Eric,
total amount.
not to go complete nerd here, real quick, just for the record, share the majority of the source of revenue for the Parks Department comes from where?
In our non-reverting accounts,
Both,
well, the general account does come from the general budget,
right. Got it.
from the city's tax base.
And non-reverting?
Non-reverting is just that, it's monies that we take in, it doesn't revert back to the general account. Program fees, rental fees, donations, that sort of thing.
All right, when is your budget?
Our
It's
first budget hearing is next Wednesday at 5:15. And council, because they have so many new council members, they've
Right.
asked for the entire department head, or the entire city administration to come and they can ask us individual questions. And
Got it. Are you going to push your way to the front?
I hope so.
Elbows only, please. Yeah.
Just give you a slot
Either that or sneak out the back door.
Okay.
for all that time. This is all that.
So again, the budget, I think the total city budget, Tom, is going down just a little less than 5%.
Okay, that's kind of where I was headed.
And I should look in here, but so I don't have to look. Salaries,
Fully funded, the city in the appropriation, or in the resolution asked for 5% increase. It'll be in the salary ordinance more than likely, but
got it.
probably won't be funded.
Okay.
Question, I'm looking at the non-reverting. You know, and I see that we're projected recreation programs have gone up by maybe 4 times as much. The revenue,
Yeah.
right in the beginning.
So we had some discussion with the controller, and that's, a lot of it has to do with not only building revenue, but also the leagues, various leagues that we look to negate the in-kind services and ask more for direct payment for field preparation and other things. So that works into the overall.
So we think that's a target we can hit even if this mask wearing continues into the future?
Yeah, because I think that they want to get out and play.
Yeah, and I think.
Oh, sure they do.
You bring, that's a good observation. I hate doing but you make a great observation. I think for a year or so, that word, which I thought is just a corny word, is going to be very in vogue, and that'll be staycations.
Yeah.
You know, day trips.
Yeah.
My kids are going to play in Little League Baseball or youth soccer. I see a lot more of that. I think parents will spend money for the kid to be in travel league instead of maybe going on Disney World. But I think I see that's where it's going. And, you know, the trend has been a drastic decline, fall off, participation in youth sports, regardless of what the sport is. It's the last decade, it has fallen. But I think this, I could see, personally, I see an uptick, I hope.
Well, if any indication, Fall Creek's fall number, or not Fall Creek, OYO's fall numbers were up over their fall numbers last year.
Yeah, I just think people want to get out
Wow.
and about, yeah.
People want to get out and do something, and
Good.
Are the leagues aware that that's the direction we're headed, or?
yeah, we've had some conversations with them, yeah.
And I think, and we need to
Make
make
sure that they kind of get the picture about where this is going.
Yeah.
'Cause, they
And
should.
again, it's not burdensome, it's,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make it burdensome. I
No,
want them to
but if
play, but, you know, we got
if
interest.
we collect
in-
some to offset our operational costs, then we're ahead of the game.
Maybe as part of the 5-year plan, we come up with an idea about how much those, you know, it costs us to keep those parks available to them. You know, because, you know, when they use the parking lot, no, it doesn't seem like they're using anything, but those things wear out.
Yeah,
And so some of that had to be kind of, you know, they shouldn't have to pay the whole cost.
no, but
But, you know, they're using it.
need to be mitigated at some level. It has to be. Yes, I agree. Anything out there for us there?
no, you referenced our Fall Creek, or FC Pride meeting, and that was, one other thing. Dean and I have been talking, so if anybody can come up with any ideas, we've got our Halloween activity we generally do every year, and we'd like to somehow continue that this year. So if there's any thoughts or on how we can do that, and
Miss Judy?
revised.
Put your thinking
Whether it's
cap on, please.
Whether it's a drive-through,
Yeah, that's what,
drive-through trick or treat.
Right.
Kind of makes sense.
So,
all right. Anything else there?
no,
Okay.
it's,
Are we 3 o'clock tomorrow with our friends in your office? That's FC, right? All right. Fun stuff, exciting stuff. Miss Judy, break a leg.
So update on the Fort Bend Cultural Campus, everything is moving along smoothly. From last month, I'm not sure if the finish dates have changed or not, but the addition to the theater should be done by October 24th. The communications building, now the Visual Arts Center, should be done October 31st, and the plaza should be done November 24th. Every month that I come and tell you this, the dates move
Yeah.
further out. But we are still on schedule to have a grand opening on May 20th and 21st, or maybe that's 21st and 22nd, but that weekend. Budget-wise, we look fairly good. We're down to 3 alternates. We met with Parks, Jeff and Eric and Joe last week and determined that the outdoor cafe outside the kitchen of the Starrett Center would be knocked off the list since there isn't a restaurant in there to activate the cafe. And so we only have 2 more alternates that we're hoping to be able to move back into the project.
Yeah, massage.
That is the playground surface underneath the musical swings and an ornamental fence between the cultural campus and the cemetery. I think it was pretty much weighed, well, Eric and I both agree that the that the playground surface is more important than the fence. That's one that relieves a maintenance issue. If we don't have the playground surface, then we're looking at mulch, and that's a maintenance issue and an ongoing expense. So that's my top alternate to get, hopefully squeeze into the project. And then, of course, the fence to the cemetery.
I pushed back because I'm being on the reuse authority and the parks board. I both said, I've got to do something, clean that cemetery up and let's put up a fence.
Yeah.
So we'll arm wrestle over it, I guess. Eric?
Hopefully, we'll have enough left in our contingency to do both of those projects. But, you know, stuff keeps.
Keep swinging.
Who's responsible for the cemetery?
So the cemetery is a private cemetery. The trustees are out of, no.
They Westfield, Eric? Cicero, yeah. I think it was Hamilton County.
Actually, a few of us met with them just a few weeks ago to get their permission to take the southernmost portion of their fence down when we put up a decorative fence, and they have given us permission to do that. There are a number of people in the community that want to help. That cemetery is in really poor shape. The DNR archaeologist was also at this group meeting, and she is willing to bring, as she's done in the past, but she is willing to continue to bring volunteers. Well, she would volunteer, and volunteer instructors to teach gravestone repair classes for beginners through.
Heard of that one?
And so they've done some repair of the stones in the past, and they need it again. So we're hoping to maybe build a Friends of cemetery and get some folks out there on a monthly basis, at least spring through fall, to do some cleanup, paint the old fence.
And cemeteries that I mentioned in the meeting of the past were our original green spaces.
Yeah.
Forever and a day. I mean, the first real green space in Indianapolis was Crown Hill Cemetery.
Yeah.
And where that cemetery is located, I mean, it's in the heart.
Yeah, we also
A little
trying to
love.
get some history from the trustees. They've got a lot of history to that that cemetery, and we want to include it in our augmented reality app
Yeah.
so that we can
There's
preserve
potential.
some of those stories.
Right.
One of my concerns, though, is we want to put a pedestrian gate from the cultural campus, so at that south entrance, and there is a walkway there, but I worry about the old graves that
Yeah.
are wood box.
Could get a thrill that you weren't planning, yeah, cave in.
You can see some that I won't step there for fear I'm gonna end
All
up
in.
down there with the bones, but it's in pretty rough shape. So hopefully we can get some friends of to come out there and clean the place up with the help of the DNR archaeologists to make sure we're doing it properly.
Right.
And
Right,
preserve some of that
respectfully.
history. Yeah.
Cemeteries tell stories. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so other than that, speaking of Halloween, Arts for Lawrence we're doing okay with the cultural campus, but our programming stopped a long time ago, long before COVID, because we stopped for construction.
Right.
So we're about $85,000 in the red, which is a lot for our organization. We're pretty small. And our annual fundraiser is usually a dinner.
Right.
And that's tough to do these days. So we are doing a fundraiser that is a Fort Bend scavenger hunt.
Oh, wow.
It is a 2-mile, 2-hour event that teaches you a little bit of history about the fort. You can walk, you can bike, you can drive. It's a $35 ticket. And there is actually, it's not a race,
Right.
but you get a form and you have to answer questions along the scavenger hunt. And so there is opportunity to win prizes at the end. So
Give us a date, and they can go to the website for info.
they can go to the website, artsforlawrence.org. The dates are October 23rd and 24th, I believe, whatever that Saturday and Sunday are.
Got it.
Then October 31st and November 1st. You can do the scavenger hunt at any time
Right.
between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m., I believe. There will be someone at the theater to get you started, and there will be someone at the theater to end your scavenger hunt. But for the most part, it is outdoors. There are some opportunities to
Right.
go inside. There's a
It's kind of like the one they did downtown Indianapolis. It's been a month where you went on scavenger hunt. You went to Victory Field, Lucas Oil.
This one's a little smaller than that.
Right,
We're
but
talking
it's-
about 2 miles total. But you'll learn some history about some of the old buildings. There is a VIP ticket for $10 extra. There's a photo op in the jail cell in the basement of the old Fort Jail. So it should be a lot of fun. And like I said, it is not a race. You can do this at your leisure, any one of
Stroll.
those days, and it takes about 2 hours. And that's about all I have.
Thank you, Miss Judy. Always fun stuff. Thank you, ma'am.
We found the sewer lines there, been
By
unearthed
accident or?
Okay, why was,
originally, but they're,
I'm going to ask a stupid question. Why did we have the bad things happening?
no,
They couldn't find a
the
law.
contractor was a lot.
Oh,
So that is one of the things that has taken things out of my contingency account, is that when they designed, there has to be an upgraded storm sewer.
oh, yeah.
Because there does. So the way they designed the storm sewer, it interfered with the gas line,
Oh, yeah.
the electric
Yeah.
line.
They just ran them wherever they wanted to run them back in the day. Yeah.
Knocked out the power, we all had to go home. What was that, last
To
week
go
or the week
ask
before?
those people where those things are.
And, you
I,
know, it's the same company that did the survey, that designed the storm sewer. You would think that
Jeez.
you would
when
balance.
I was first on the reuse authority, you were amazed. If the Army wanted to put something in, they put something in.
Yeah.
Did it also interfere with
I
your?
understand the Army does.
It's funny, Rick.
It's everything.
So, yeah, they hit the men's side, so we've got 2 sanitary sewers, men's side and women's side. Men's side, they hit that, and they were doing power line,
Okay.
redoing the power line. Fixed it, and yesterday they hit it. So it's been inspected and everything.
Good to go. All right.
Times, but, yeah, you know, they've, every mistake or or surprise has been remedied pretty quickly. So I'm very pleased with that.
We're taking 2 steps forward regularly and only 1 step back.
Yes.
That's called progress.
But every single one of those costs money.
Oh, yeah, they do. All right, well, thank you, Miss Judy, always fun. All right, anything else for the good of the cause?
Did we talk about the status of the 5-year plan?
Eric, real quick, thank you. That's good.
We did, got an updated park, I'm trying to think of the terminology they used. Survey of all the infrastructure, all the parking lots and everything, and that's been sent back. And so we have to approve that and send it off to them by Friday, I believe. So we're just waiting to figure out how we can do our public input.
And we're not necessarily up against a timeline since we got started late. Do we know how many people took survey?
338.
Okay,
So that was, they felt very good with those numbers, and
Okay.
they had got a good cross-section of the community. They actually went down to got the information to the churches on Post Road, and
Right.
we got some additional information from those areas. So as soon as they can figure out some way to do the public meeting so we can get good public input, then we'll go with that. If not, it might be a smaller meeting where we have the community come in, maybe as a round table or something, but we're still on order to get it done by the end of the year.
Okay, that's fine. Can we get whatever they doing to compile the results of the survey?
I can send that to you,
yeah, we can share that out with everyone.
Really good if you could do that.
It's, I don't think it's 184 pages, but
No,
that's it. I'll send that to you.
Okay, good,
all
thank you.
right. Anything else? We stand adjourned.
All right.
All right.